I was intrigued when Jerry was talking about the new abundance book that's coming out. And I'm just wondering if it's possible for Esther and Jerry and Abraham to share with us maybe a new process or something now without us waiting till August.
Yes, well, yes, and we've been giving it to you all day here today. This is a wonderful book, and it talks about the things that people often think about money or about their bodies that keep them from thriving and prospering. But the whole book is built around this premise of telling the new story. In other words, you've been hearing it. We never hold back and make you wait for the book. We spill our guts as fast as the new idea comes. In other words, the basis of it is recognizing that your life has caused you to create it, but now you must tell the story until it is viscerally familiar to you. That's really what it is about. The basis of it really says you just cannot keep beating the drum of what is and move to a different place. You have to find a way to tell a new story. Any subject that you would like to tell a new story about?
I do okay on abundance, but I have this very scientific mind and economics mind and everything. And I need to let go of that story and just, I want to bring it to me in a way that I love what I'm doing, rather than just appreciate that I got to go to good school, so I should keep doing what I'm doing and something like that.
And yet, as you are appreciating anything that is working for you in any way, it sets you up for the receiving of so much more that you want. There is no tool that is more powerful than the tool of appreciation. If you could get into a mode of telling stories of appreciation, you'd have it nailed. Telling stories about the aspects of your life that you are seeking improvement in from an attitude of appreciation would change your vibration swiftly, and the manifestational evidence that comes in response to your vibrational changes would be staggering to those who are watching you from the outside, especially someone like you. You see, there's nothing wrong. This analytical mind, this ability to study and think and define and compare, you're born doing that, and you are really good at it. And when you turn a mind like that with a deliberate intent to focus it, powerful things happen. We just want you to focus on feeling, not on fact. Okay. Focus on feeling rather than on thought. Fixate on the way an idea feels. So, for example, when you take that idea that felt a little off, that you're really good at what you do and you got a lot of good schooling, which makes you revered and sought after and prosperous, therefore, to a certain extent. But on the other end of that, while that all felt like appreciation, is a little bit of a feeling of bondage, that sort of I've made this bed and now I have to lie in it. And even though I would like to reach beyond it, I can't reach far beyond it. It sort of is what it is. And so I'm feeling a little bound in that. And so then we say, start telling another story. Begin telling the story that if your time-space reality can give you the wherewithal to desire it, that you believe that this time-space reality has the wherewithal to satisfy that intention. And make statements to yourself such as, in all that you've lived, you've been amending your vibrational escrow, and it is grown and it has become so big that you can't even look into it and define it very clearly. It's so magnificent. It's not something that you can intellectually define. It got too big for that. It's something that you emotionally will define. And then, as you begin to try to emotionally define it, you say, well, what does it feel like inside that world that I've expanded from what I'm doing into? And you say, oh, it feels adventurous. It feels frolicking. It feels like I first felt when I was first exploring some of these earlier disciplines. It feels like there's no ending to where we can go. It feels like there are answers to every question. It feels like just finding the question is really the best part of all of it, because if I can find the question, I can find the answer, and it's that thrill of expansion that I'm really reaching for. That's what it feels like. Now feel that story. We didn't talk about any facts. We just talked about emotion and how it feels. You get a sense of it. You hear it completely. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
That's all. Thank you.
Hi, Abraham. I wanted to know if you really want something really badly, but you think maybe if it doesn't happen, I'm going to plan for a plan B. Is a plan B, does that?
Well, what it does, it assures plan B. And for one reason, you believe plan B.
But what if you think, well, either way, Either one's good for me.
Then you don't need plan B.
Okay.
Because you badly wanted plan A.
Yeah.
In other words, I really want it desperately, splitting energy. Mm-hmm. And so you can't get to something that you want when you have that much angst within you, you see. You have to find a way of replacing the angst with expectation. And the best way we know to do that is to talk about what you want and why you want it. Why do you want it? I want it because. When you think about what you want and how you're going to get it, when it's going to come, who's going to bring it, where it's going to come from, you almost always turn upstream in opposition to it because you don't have the answers to those questions. Where when you talk about what you want and why you want it, it's easier to get inside that vibrational escrow and feel what it feels like. So just the simple words, I want it because it would feel like such and such, are really powerful steps in the right direction of what you're wanting. When you want something badly, there's desperation in your vibration. So even though you might be moving closer to it, it keeps moving too. The only way you can close the gap is by getting inside how it would feel to have it.
Okay. About a year ago, my husband and I decided we were tired of the home we lived in. As much as we liked it, it was requiring too much of our time. It needed to be remodeled. There was always something coming up with it. And it was keeping us from things we really wanted to do. So we really put out to the universe what we wanted, a dream home. And it manifested, and we did buy this home in last summer. And it's a gorgeous home. It's beautiful. And we felt it was just the right thing to do, which we did. We purchased it.
And how is it doing in terms of maintenance? Is it maintenance free, or is it pretty much like the last one was?
You're exactly right on. What we did is we
bigger.
left. So we were wondering, did we bring our vibration with us?
Yes.
That we took the last house.
Yes, you always do.
That was not maintenance free, and which we still own. Which now we have 2 non-maintenance free homes. And getting to the plan B is we could decide with the old home, should we rent it or should we sell it? It's been on the market for 3 months. And we were wondering if maybe that's why it didn't sell, because we weren't sure. Even though we had it on the market, we were thinking, well, it's okay if we rent it because we had nice renters, but we'd prefer to sell it. And now we have this new home that's not maintenance free, but it's a gorgeous home. It's in an incredible setting. But if we had known ahead of time, we wouldn't have bought this home. Were we drawn to this home that's not maintenance free? So how do we want to let go of all of it, and we want a gorgeous home that's maintenance free.
Well, if you really want no maintenance, you have to reemerge into non-physical.
Okay.
Because everything that is physical has a certain amount of resistance to it. But we know what you're getting at. There are degrees of it. So let's talk about the basis of this. And you are understanding, words don't teach, but life experience really does. We tell people that if there's something that you don't like in your environment and you go somewhere else because you don't like it, you always take yourself with you. And that's why we're encouraging you to do the vibrational work first, and then follow through with inspired action. We wouldn't accept the things that are going on in your life as part of your story. The things that are going on in your life might be going on in your life, but they do not need to be part of your story. And if you don't make unwanted things part of your story, they have to go away. Because it's only the repeating of them and the incorporating them into your story that holds them in your experience, you see. So as you beat the drum of the things that go wrong, more things go wrong. The universe is so cooperative. It just wants to show you more of what you've got active in your vibration, no matter where you are. It can begin to feel like a conspiracy to just get you down. It's like, what more could go wrong, you say, and the universe says, we got a lot. There's a lot. There's way more. There's way more than you've let in so far. Keep beating that drum and we'll show you how creative you really are, you see. So you have to tell the story of ease. You have to tell the story of well-being. You have to tell the story of cooperative others that help you. You have to tell the story of how you love progress. You have to tell the story about how you understand that things of a physical nature are always in the mode of being replenished. You have to tell the story that you don't mind it, that it happens with ease with you. You have to tell the story that You buy things that are of quality and it gives you lots of breathing room, and that how you love interacting with the things of a physical nature. You want to talk to your furniture like you talk to your body about the regenerating cells. You want to talk to your equipment like you talk to your body about its regenerating qualities. We're not kidding you about that. Everything is vibrational, and everything in your life experience, including what you formerly have thought were inanimate objects, which aren't. Those inanimate objects are vibration, and they are responding to the vibration of your being without exception. So, as you say, dear house of mine, I love you as you are, and I'm wanting you to remain as you are. You might be asking the impossible, because nothing stands still. Everything is in the process of becoming, even those inanimate objects. And so when you look at things and you see them as declining, whether it's your body or whether it's a piece of furniture or a roof or a piece of electronic equipment, everything that you look at is responding to your vibration as it is within your experience, and as you are holding it in your gaze, it is responding to you. Haven't you noticed that all kinds of electronic things will go wacky for no apparent reason? The thing that trips so many of you up is that you think that you're responding to what is, when what's happening is what is circling around and responding to your response to what is. So what is causes you to offer a vibration. As you offer a vibration, more of it comes. As you notice that you offer a vibration, as you offer a vibration, more of it comes. So the key to deliberate creation is to somehow find a way to extract yourself from what is long enough and get inside the story of what you want to be, and tell the story of what you want to be with enough fervor and detail and emotion that you begin to feel it as if you are living it, and then the universe has to manifest. It has to actualize. It has to materialize around that story. It is law. It's what's happening all day, every day.
So I could change my current home to be a well-maintained home that wasn't continually having breakdowns, just by changing
Yes,
the way
but
I'm
so
thinking.
far it's not going too well.
No, it's really not. So
Well, even in this moment, we mean, because you're continuing to talk about the home that is having all of these breakdowns. And so we would start telling a different story now.
Okay, that I live in a beautiful home, and we're going to make it be the best maintained home we've ever had.
Closer, but not really. What would it feel like to be there? It's the feeling that you're wanting to get inside of it. It's the feeling. What does that feel like?
The first feeling I ever had when I walked in that home was it was the most spectacular home I'd ever
You see,
been
you
in.
can't jump from one feeling to another
Okay.
immediately. You just can't do it. Law of attraction doesn't let you off the hook. Law of attraction is only giving you things that are sort of like it. And so nothing's really changed this red hot minute. When you feel different about it, now it will respond to you differently. So then let's say you want to take it a little further. Let's say you want to really feel good, not only about this house, but about maintaining your life in general. And so you can step into a more general, even better feeling place by saying things always work out for us. And sometimes even in the midst of contrast, we shoot off rockets of desires that later on really serve us well. So there's nothing that we've ever lived, even about this house, that we really regret, because all of it has parlayed us into a new place of dramatic creating. And I'm happy for the expansion that has happened as a result of our exposure to this life experience. And now that the expansion has happened as a result of our exposure to this life experience, we've got the option of looking forward into the expansion or back at the reason for the expansion. And when we look back, we don't feel so good. And when we look forward, we feel better. And so this house has really been our friend. It's really been a basis of launching many desires forward, and it's helping us to realize the powerful creators that we are. I have a feeling we have a sort of bond with this house, with these properties, as they're helping us to come into vibrational alignment with who we are. These houses have helped us become thinking creators rather than action creators. This house and all of the things that went wrong have been a wonderful catalyst, not only of a great place to live, but it has taught me to be the creator from the inside out. It's taught me that I don't create through my actions, I create through my thoughts. And I'm appreciative of every single thing that went wrong in this house that helped me to come to that realization, because now I can create really on another platform. I know that my lovely home is there, and me and all the relationships that I want. And when I chill out and find reasons to feel good, I can feel the vortex of law of attraction summoning all of us to this point of attraction. And I so look forward to the manifestation of all of this. That's the story that you want to tell.
Thank you.